Alrighty boys, we're back with another one. This is going to be part 2 of my kind of long discussion video. Part 1, we looked over all the single player stuff when it came to the beta patch 1.5.5. I'm going to link that video down below. Also, I'm going to link my quick overlook video, which pretty much is like a shorter video. It goes over everything in the beta patch, and it's kind of more of like a, get the quick facts about it type of video. But this is going to be a longer video. We're going to talk about multiplayer and just, my overall experience and stuff that I think is good and bad and overall. And we're going to go from there. We have a lot. We have a lot of weapon and equipment changes and also a lot of troop changes. And we're going to see how a lot of these are affected. And we're going to go from there. So let's start from right over here. So obviously, I said this in my quick overlook video from Friday, which is, it's already Friday today, and I'm probably going to upload this video, I think probably tomorrow, because I already uploaded a lot of videos today, but I'm going to upload this tomorrow, and, what's it called, from Friday all the way to the weekend. I don't know if it's going to end on Monday, or if they're going to continue it after that, but that's when the multiplayer servers for the beta branch will be enabled, and you can play with these changes that we're going to read below, and kind of test them out. Alrighty, so design and balance, combat. We got bows, crossbows, and all throwing weapons, readying/aiming durations and patterns are now related to weapon speed. Aiming used to be standard for all ranged weapons. The faster the weapon is, the faster it readies up. The smaller the initial crosshair, the faster it gets accurate, and the longer it holds max accuracy. Minor adjustments will be made after reviewing performance. I think overall this is good. I think that it's good that it's not just the same thing for every single weapon, because it wouldn't make sense, because the time it takes for a bow to get ready is not the same time it takes for a crossbow that's already loaded to get ready. It's not the same time it takes for you to throw a weapon. So this makes sense. Overall, good change in my opinion. We're going to see how it works, if people do enjoy it. Obviously, there's tweaking that needs to be probably done to it over time. Obviously, minor adjustments will be made. Makes sense. Overall, I think this is a great change. There's not much else to say about it. I think it makes total sense. Next, we have this new perk for bows and crossbows. Faster release grants faster traveling projectiles to increase the effective range of bows and crossbows. Does not increase damage value. I stated that I'm always down for new perks and new stuff to happen when it comes to like multiplayer gameplay. So it becomes more skill based, and people can kind of hone the skill of having all these different perks at their or these different perks and these different abilities at their use, and can actually make some good plays out of it. It makes the gameplay interesting. It makes it good to actually watch, and it just it gives you those moments where you can just there's a chance that he might clutch it because he does this and that. Those intense moments that if you're trying to go for a competitive landscape in the multiplayer scene, you really need somehow. You always need somehow to kind of just turn everything around. You don't want gameplay to be predictable. You don't want it to turn into every time that it goes into a 4v1 situation where 4 enemies are alive and one of your teammates is alive, they're always going to lose. You don't want that to happen. Yes, most of the time they should lose if the enemies play it right, but there's a small slim chance that your teammate can really pull it out. And I think that's what makes a lot of competitive games very, very entertaining to watch and also play. So I'm always down for new perks, new stuff that actually can, if you learn them, if you play long enough, you can obviously excel. A game that kind of reminds me of this, I've been playing it a little bit in my spare time, is League of Legends. Obviously, a new player obviously doesn't know every single ability, ability of not just the champion you're playing, but also all the other champions that could be possibly played against you and with you. But as time goes on, the more hours you sink into it, the more you learn, because everybody has something different to offer, and the different combinations. There's so much, right? And I feel like we're just getting started when it comes to Bannerlord, when it comes to abilities. We have Crush Through, and that's pretty much one of the, the closest things I can think to pretty much an ability. And it did kind of get nerfed also, which we're gonna read down here. But more abilities, different classes should obviously have different abilities. I think it makes sense. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of tweaking that needs to be done. That also makes sense, but I think it's good. Overall, it's good, and in the future, it will excel, the multiplayer experience. Alrighty, crush through is only possible with Battanian two-handed mace and Sturgian two-handed hammer. Both weapons' swing speed and damage have been adjusted. It doesn't state if it's been nerfed or if it's gone up. Probably went down. Now, so this will pretty much this change makes it so two-handed weapons. Obviously, that was kind of like the point of crush through, was two-handed weapons were the only ones that were supposed to really crush through. But now it looks like they only did it for two different classes. I don't know how many two-handed classes there are in the multiplayer. I played multiplayer for a little bit, but I'm not like the biggest multiplayer player, right? But I do make these videos kind of because, you know, I do want to cover both sides. I don't want to just cover single player. And I know what people are going to say. They're going to be like, oh man, you know, who plays Bannerlord for the multiplayer? A good portion do. Yeah, obviously more people play it for the single player, but that's, you know, that doesn't mean we should just like turn a blind eye. You know what I mean? Like it's a good experience. And if you haven't tried multiplayer in Bannerlord, I really suggest you do. And if you are wanting to try it and you see this video a little bit after this period where you can play it on the beta, just know that multiplayer is always on the live patches of the game. If you want to have a multiplayer experience with a lot of people actually playing, what's called transition your game to a live version, to a live patch. If you don't know how to do that, I'll include a link to that also, like a quick video on how to do that. But yeah, I think it's a cool thing to try. Alrighty, we got weapon and equipment changes. Alright, so we got some new weapons first of all. Alright, let's check this out. So we got new weapon, Battanian Throwing Axe. Okay, similar to other throwing axes, we have the Azrai Throwing Axe. Deals more damage, stat count 2. Okay, new weapon, Battanian Bastard Sword, Vlandian Bastard Sword. Can be used two-handed. Okay, so it's like a two-handed weapon. Okay. We got a lot of Bastard Swords added that are two-handed weapons. New weapon, Fast Hunting Bow. A very fast bow with low damage. Kind of like a light bow. Okay. Then we have new weapon, Light Javelin. Javelin with lower damage. Okay. Probably going to be faster, right? Because it's lighter. Then we have slightly increased damage of all lances. Ooh. So they're kind of trying to get, I'm guessing, Horseman to actually use the lances. The lances have had some problems with it because they have changed how like the speed affects how much damage you do. Therefore, I'm pretty sure that's why they increased the damage, because sometimes you literally wouldn't do any damage if your speed wasn't there. Alright, we got Javelin. The stack was increased. Okay. So the Javelin stacks were increased, but their damage was decreased. Jareed is also kind of a Javelin. Okay, overall increased, but the damage was decreased. So they give you more, but the damage is decreased. Okay, Northern Fish Harpoon, same. Okay, so it looks like all of the... Just looking at this. So when it comes to like all the javelins and throwing weapons, it looks like they increased the stack and decreased the damage, except for the Imperial and the Northern Fish Harpoon, where they actually decreased both the stack and the damage. Okay, I'm kind of happy they decreased the damage of some of the javelins, because it's really a lot of damage. It's really a lot of damage. You know, and if you get hit by it, you really feel the pain. Alright, now on to bows. What is it looking like as the consensus? Consensus, I cannot say that word. It's looking like very minor changes. Overall, it's kind of decreased down the board with some increases to some bows, right? So it looks like long bows, their accuracy and damage are increased, the two long bows that I see. And on all the other bows, it looks like their accuracy and damage is overall decreased. Not by huge margins, very small margins. So it looks like long bows are kind of going to be... They kind of want, like, if it's a short bow, if it's something that's, you know, you can fire off a little bit quicker, obviously they want you to, what's it called? To obviously have less accuracy and less damage, but if you want to go for the long bow, which takes a little bit longer, their accuracy and damage is going to get higher. Okay. Arbalest. Damage increased from 95 to 100. I don't agree with this. What is this? So you can one-tap people with the Arbalest? I don't know if I agree with this. I really don't know. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think I agree with this. Then we have Vland. Well, obviously it wouldn't be one tap. Most of, it depends the armor of the units. I don't like this. I don't like it. I'm gonna just say it right there. Vlandian Throwing Axe damage is decreased from 113 to 34. Jesus Christ, rest in peace. Throwing Axes. I'm guessing, yeah, they were kind of overpowered. They did a lot of damage, and now they got like destroyed in terms of damage. So now, like, whatever you used to do with the one throwing axe, now you need to land 3 of those to do the same damage. Rest in peace. Lances, very small increase to the length. Okay, that kind of makes sense. Okay. Then we have Knight Heavy Horseman Kite Shield. Hit points increased. Okay. Clan Warrior Targe. I don't know what a Targe is. I'm guessing, is that a unit? Targe. Armor's increased by 5 to 8. Hit points increased. I'm guessing that's a shield type. Then we have a Northern Round Shield. So all shields look like they were buffed. The shields that are mentioned here, which is the Horseman Kite Shield, the Targe, and the Round Shield, all buffed up. Okay. Then we have the Bastard Axe, was also buffed up. There it is. Alrighty, moving on to troop changes. Woohoo! All shock troops, combat movement speed modifiers decreased from 1 to 0.9. So you're a little bit slower now if you're a shock troop. And shock troops are like the very strong ones, if I'm not mistaken. Like the very, very OP ones, and pretty much what everybody plays. Alright, let's look at the kingdom types. So you got Azeroth, you got Skirmisher. Spear perk is changed to Pike perk. Okay. Tribal Warrior Mace perk is changed to Long Sword perk. Javelin. Okay, so they just have a lot of perk rotations. Jesus Christ, a lot of perk rotations. I'm not super familiar with all this, so I'm not going to give like my take on it. But a lot of perk changes. It looks like it's very significant. Like almost everybody is getting changed in terms of perks. Interesting. Troop count is increased from 14 to 15. Speed is decreased. Okay. There's very small little increases and decreases, like by 1 or 2 points. Interesting. Okay. Battanians. Oh, we just have overall down the board. I don't even know if I should. Yeah. This looks very similar. Because look, the troops were increased from 14 to 15. Same thing here. Speed was the same thing here. Yeah, it all looks very similar. So it just looks like for all of these, it looks like there's just a huge perk change for all the different types of units. Literally, everyone got like a perk change. And then when it comes to kind of the archers, they got a troop count increase and a speed decrease, but very minor. And then the raider, which is like all the way at the bottom of each one, they got a little bit more changes to them. Interesting. There's not much I can say about it. I don't have that much of inputs on it, but it looks like it changed up a lot. We're gonna see how that actually changes the gameplay. Okay. What else do we got? Oh yeah, in my Discord, people have stated that the fix couch lancing bouncing at lower speeds, that this is actually a very, very good fix. I don't know. Obviously, lance bouncing has to do with Horseman, if I'm not mistaken. So they said this is very good. So we're gonna see how that works. Alrighty, now moving on to other miscellaneous. Fix an issue where options in the friends list would not change when our role within the group leader to member or vice versa. Okay, so obviously when you were changed from a leader or from a leader to a member or a member to a leader, it wouldn't actually do the change. It wouldn't give you the options, but now it should. Then we have fix Ulstrum's gloves visually glitching, a visual glitch. Okay. Then we have clans now can now be created with 2 players. They stated that they will do this before a long time ago. I don't even know when this was. I think like a month ago, maybe a couple weeks ago, where in one of the dev talks they stated that you can create, that you're going to be able to create with 2 players, but obviously you still need the required amount to start a clan match, right? But this is just so you can make them easier and then invite more people, which makes sense. Then we got server network. Random players can no longer join pre-made games after a player disconnects. Sounds good to me. Then we got UI changes. We have swap places of play and armory tabs to center the play tab. Okay, very minor, kind of visual, quality of life. Okay. They're reporting a player automatically mutes them for you after report. Uh, it's good if you can unmute them though, because I don't think they should stay muted. Sometimes you want to report somebody, but then just keep playing and keep seeing if the person will change and actually try to do for the better, right? And then if you really need to mute them, you should just have the option to do that yourself, right? Next we have fixes, minor visual fixes in the lobby custom game tab. All right, very minor. Alrighty, let's go over this both too, because might as well. It's pretty short. So both changes. This is for a single player and a multiplayer. We have the mission order radial. The order UI has been changed and now has the radial buttons. This is implemented mostly for the gamepad. So that's what radial means. Okay, so I was having problems with the current, the hotfix video I made today where they talked about some radial changes and I didn't know exactly what it meant, but obviously it means that that new kind of menu we have for kind of formation orders and stuff, where it's kind of like that circular menu and it's kind of good for gamepads mostly. Okay, so in the hotfix today, if you didn't know, it's 30% smaller now, and also there was a fix to it as well, where you can exit it by pressing the escape key now, or right-clicking it, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, a lot of people aren't happy about this. They're kind of helping out the gamepad, which I don't mind, but at the same time, people are saying that they don't like the new way that you have to kind of like give orders and how it looks for people who play with keyboard and mouse. So I can kind of understand the frustration. I don't use formations that much. You can say what you want. I stick with my F1, F3, F1, F2, F3, F3, which is charge, follow me, and loose formations. That's it. That's all you need. Not really. You can use more, but in the current gamescape, that's really all you need. But let's move on from that. Then we got UI now supports other language characters that are not included in the selected game language. Previously, characters in other languages would show up as blocked characters. Example, if your game language was English and someone typed in Japanese in the multiplayer chat, the English player would not see these characters as blocked characters. Now they show up as the correct characters. Good. You still won't really understand it unless it translates it for you, which I doubt it will, but there it is. Now we got performance. We got optimization made for agent spawning, improving the initialization of battles and reinforcement phases. People have stated that their battles and sieges have been a lot more smoother due to this, which is very good. It's always good to have more optimization as much as you can have in a game. And then the next one has to do with, it's a lot of big words, inverse kinetics by reducing unnecessary usage of the animation system. Pretty much animations use less memory and they're more optimized, therefore a more better experience and overall better stable gameplay for your computer and for you in general. Now we got combat. Fix a scenario for crush through where the attacker could deal full damage to the opponent. Interesting. Well, that's probably that's what a lot of people were getting upset about in multiplayer, where you would crush, like people would just go crush through and just like one tap everybody, even if they block. Too late. It doesn't even matter. You would still one tap them. That's what a lot of people are mad about, so that's good to see that it is fixed. Then we have troop movement speeds when moving in arrangement has been reduced noticeably in the previous update. According to feedback and testing, this reduction has been made less severe for line arrangement. So troops will now kind of get a little bit bigger boost because they got a very big nerf last time. So it's still kind of nerfed since last time, but not as much. Then we have AI, improved aiming and decision-making process of Archer AI. There it is. Very good. That's very good to see, and keep improving AI. Keep making them smarter. Then we have improved AI behavior while charging when they have throwing weapons equipped. So I'm guessing they're going to do that whole like move to the side thing before they, what's it called, use the throwing weapon and stuff like that. So good to see. Now lastly, we got modding. We got fixes for crashes when using road_instance script for river sculpting. Then we have check for errors functionality in editor. Also checks the physics objects of the mesh bended entities. And then we have a new functionality added to the editor for rebaking the selected GI probes. Alright boys, listen. The tough news is I did want to do like the whole modding thing. I am going to have to put that on the back burner. It's a lot to learn. But there is a guy, if you do search up like Bannerlord modding tutorials, there's a guy who does it very, very well. I've seen a couple of his videos, and I do suggest you check them out. If you go into my channel's playlists and go to kind of like the playlist that's all about Bannerlord and different tutorials, go into that playlist, and in that playlist, the first episode of his like modding tutorials are on there. I kind of added it to the playlist. Go check those out. He does a very good job, and if you do want to learn more about the modding tools, go check that out. But alrighty, boys, that is going to be it for me. I'm going to make another video, me looking over this and seeing any of the dev replies that come out. That's probably going to come out a little bit later. I'm also going to do a video on this thread right here, which is all the known issues since this patch. There's a lot, so it's going to be a new video for me a little bit later. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and yeah, let me know what you guys think of this patch overall, the multiplayer, the single player, the whatever. But yeah, hopefully it was informative. Ask me any questions, concerns, and like always, stay safe.